Hey guys, today is going to be another good one. We're going to talk about three women who, to many, were good mothers, good girlfriends, wives, etc., but really they had a darker side to them. And at the end, when we go through all the different cases, we're going to talk with our AI personality, Juniper, to see what she has to say about some of the questions we have on the case. So stay tuned. That's coming up right now. Welcome back.
Welcome.
And this is,
I'm Shirak.
and I'm Ed, or as you can call me, as you. It's a fun nickname when I was younger. And just FYI, I don't think I mentioned this in many episodes, but all the music you hear in the beginning, at the end, or a live stream, that's all stuff that I create. That's a little hobby of mine for many, many, many years. It goes back to As You Days. That's why I was thinking of that. But anyhow, today we have a good one. But before we get into more of it,
Yes, this is for education, entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research and always be kind to everyone, friends, family.
thank you, Shrock,
And
and
thank
thank you
you.
to all of you. So let's jump right into it quickly here. So which side of them do you see? So these women, there's quite a bit in common, more than you think,
Yes.
in terms of personality. We could see just a shadow of what they are today. The good wives, mothers, of course, all that's depending what you think of them, girlfriend, etc. All
Right.
religious, So it's going to be interesting. And then at the end, we'll we haven't chat with our AI personality. We've done our AI panel, but today we'll talk with Juniper and see what she has to
has
say.
to
Some of the
say.
questions.
Yeah.
So let's get started with all this, and let me get ready. Okay, here we go. So let's set the stage and kind of compare between
Yeah.
these three women here. So Shrock, go for it.
Yeah. So the first one is this is Lori. She was married 5 times and she had three.
That's it.
Yeah. She had
I know somebody who was married 4 times.
three kids. She had 3 kids.
I'm
Yeah,
bad.
one is
She
of
ain't gonna
course
watch this.
adopted son, but still that's her child. So that's the first one. That's Lori. And you want to go with the next
Geez, the
one?
person I was thinking of, I wonder if they're gonna wind up on here. Oh, geez, sorry. All right, so yeah, so we did. Oh, the next slide, sure. Or you want me to
Oh
do the
no, so
children?
yeah,
The
so
children.
that's
Okay, so she had 3 children. Okay, Kobe, Tylee, her daughter. These are biological, and Joshua Jackson, JJ Vallow. So Lori had basically these 3 kids, and he
and that's
adopted
Jody.
JJ
Yeah.
as his.
Frankie, yeah.
No, that's Lori Vallow. I'm
Oh
on I'm
Lori.
on number 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Lori. Sorry. I know. I don't have a I should have a pointer. I'm sorry guys too. I would help you guys too watch this. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's
sorry. That's something
Lori.
we can think about. I'm sorry about that. Number 2, Frankie there, as you mentioned, has 6. 2 boys and 4 girls. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a big family. And that's why they had a show about the 8 of them.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Jody had no kids and never been married.
Never been married.
Number of marriages. So, yep. So just kind of level set where they're at. Next one. Okay.
Yeah, so the next one is did they murder? Yes. The first one murdered. It was premeditated, convicted of murder her 2 children, Tylee and Joshua. They call him
Correct.
JJ.
Yep.
And the second one, murder no.
Ruby. No,
Yes,
nothing
Ruby.
for Ruby.
Nothing for Ruby, did not murder anyone. But multiple charges, right?
Yep.
Of her abusing her kids, physical torture against her children, which is sad because
That's unbelievable. If you guys aren't aware of these cases, definitely check them out. Maybe I can.
And we actually did a show on Jodi Arias, so they have some stuff on her and also Lori as well. Some
Yeah,
of our
we may
cases.
want. We'll put some ties at the end to some of these cases. Yep.
Yeah. And she actually murdered her boyfriend, right? Travis Alexander.
Yep.
And
So
it was
that's all the bottom. Yeah.
premeditated. Yes, so definitely.
So was it premeditated?
Yes.
Yes. And what's interesting is that middle one there with Ruby, right? Ruby Frankie,
Mm-hmm.
is that
Yeah, she had a YouTube channel.
I think I'm wondering, and I
She had a
watched
YouTube channel.
many documentaries, TV and YouTube, all different ones, at least 3 or 4. I'm not even, maybe
Mhm.
more. And I can't get a firm understanding if before the popularity of the show, did she not do all that stuff? Because it sounded like she got off on when she did the show. She had to do the show. She got hooked on the popularity
She was
and did
addicted to the
more and more
show.
about the kids because maybe she thought that sensationalism got her more ratings. And then she
Mhm.
got hooked up with that other person. And I'm wondering if it just fed and she started doing more and more and more, or did she have that part in her that was always there for like that torture? I don't know what the word is, but that type of
Yeah, you
crime.
think like her personality came out a little bit, some
Yeah.
of her personality. Yeah, Ruby
So
Woman is
it's
definitely
interesting.
interesting because, when she had this show, she was getting a lot of views, a lot of subscribers. Like this is like an addiction sometimes for some people, and we like it too. I'm
We
gonna be
like it
honest.
too.
We always like, oh man, we have so many
Not,
subscribers.
yeah.
So it's really helping. Makes us feel good. It helps them feel good as well. Like Ruby Frankie, she had all of these subscribers, and sometimes it could be
Yeah.
an obsession.
Like for us, we like what we do.
Mhm.
It is, I mean, it may seem to some, like when I used to watch some shows, I didn't think it was a big deal, but I realized as you do a show, and we've been doing it since January, we're still new, but we put a lot, in a lot of these, we put a lot of work into
Yeah.
it. We're not reaction. I have nothing against, we do some reactions too. So we're not against reaction shows at all. I think they're really,
Reactions
really
too.
good.
Yeah, we love
We
it.
do some of those too, but that one, when you're, or like something like what she was doing, like you
Mhm.
just turn on the video camera and say, "Hey, here's today's life. This is what we're doing." Oh boy.
Mm-mm.
Sorry guys. Um, it's different than preparing and doing a deep dive or preparing a lot of information.
Yeah.
So anyhow, yeah,
Yes, and I
it's a
just
little
want to say
different.
that too. I like just spending time, investigating people, learning about people. I took psychology, so it's like, what's behind all of this? And one thing I do want to express is like, any of this could be me, it could be any one of us, right? So that's one thing I do want to keep clear. Look at these women; they all look natural,
They
they all
all
look
look, yeah,
beautiful, and
beautiful.
so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, that's why we talk about what side do you see because technically they all human.
And just to let you guys know, again, I think you mentioned it as you're talking about did they murder?
Mhm.
They're all in jail for their crimes, the murdering or what you mentioned in terms of did they murder? I think you also covered pretty
Yes.
much why they're in jail as well. All right.
Right. So who did they murder? Yeah, she murdered her two children and no one and then boyfriend
Yeah.
was Aaron.
Yeah. So no one,
Jody.
but it could have, if that, so if you're not familiar with the middle one, Frankie there, that
Right.
basically,
Frankie's the one that just tortured her kids
and
and
like one of
she
the
had the
kids
YouTubes
escaped and made it to a neighbor's
neighbor's
house. But
house.
who knows if it would have escalated?
Mhm.
I could see that being accidental.
Yep.
But thank God the kids are now safe.
Right, because they could have been murdered. Because she like, I think she starved, like, she wasn't feeding the kids. What about if they coulda died from that? So, that case seems like they stopped it before the prevention, everything happened.
Yeah.
It was like there was more of a prevention case.
Did they have help?
Yes, they did have help. The other one is her, I guess,
So
her new
let's
husband.
go top
Her
Lori.
husband,
So Lori said,
Lori
um,
had help from her husband, right? Her new husband, like,
yep.
yeah, because she's in the cult. So, she definitely did have help. And also, not just was it Jody, she didn't just get murdered. I mean, got arrested. Her friend got arrested as well, right? So she did have help. And Aris, she did not have any help. She actually just killed them in the shower, which is kind of sad. But I noticed that they was dating for over a year. They had some time they were dating, so it's just like kind of
It's back and
interesting.
forth because I
Yeah.
think in their religion they weren't supposed to have sex, and
He was a Mormon.
he kept on having different girlfriends. And I think he really just he loved the sex with Jody, and I just think he wanted to be with her whenever he had that sexual desire. Wasn't getting his needs elsewhere, so it's kind of like a go-to. But he didn't look at her as being a viable
Hmm.
wife. He just
And
thought
he
it
was
was
a
this.
Mormon, and
Yeah.
so he wasn't
And
supposed to.
then known to be violent.
So I just said yes for Lori. She known to be violent
Well,
because I seen
yeah.
some,
I-
because she was threatening her ex-husband Charles Vallow, and she definitely was violent. She was threatening and saying some.
Yeah, violent, if not even physically,
Hmm.
but even through her actions, because there was rumors that she had her brother kill one of
Right.
her ex-husbands. So
Yeah,
she has
that's
a
what it
violent
was.
tendency, either
Hmm.
physically or through her actions or
Hmm.
through her mind.
And
And
we
then,
know Frankie was violent because she
yeah,
definitely did torture the kids, which is
and
sad.
unknown,
Still
yeah,
don't
but I
know.
would say like not ongoing. I have to go
No.
back and look and see if she
Yeah.
physically hit him. But obviously, at least at the end of the murder, she was. But as far as having a tendency, unknown is good because we're not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure of that.
All right,
Mhm.
and we got two more here.
Yes, did
So
they confess? Yeah, plead not
guilty.
guilty. She admitted, inflicting the serious
Yeah, I think he's
physical
just trying to
injuries
get
of
less.
the two youngest children. So she,
He
yes,
pled not guilty.
and she pled
I
not
don't know the
guilty.
last one. I don't know how Jody can plead not guilty. Hello,
Well,
they got
definitely. Well,
pictures of.
she did, and it's because she said it was self defense. So, people can
I
use that self defense
love it.
every time.
Ye-
Say, hey, I was defending myself. He was coming at me, and I
Hey,
just,
there was ninjas that came in here. That's the one that has she changed her story. Oh, there's ninjas that came in.
hmm
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
It's so
And,
ridiculous.
the possible motivation, the motive. So that was definitely the religion beliefs. A lot of them have that physical gain, relationship with husband, and then extremists,
Yep.
physical manipulation, distorted understanding of
I think the second
parenting.
one's power. I would add power and also
Yeah, that could have
what's
been
the
it
what's
too.
the word I'm looking for? Where you think you're a celebrity, so you get kind
Celebrity
of,
status,
yeah,
high ratings.
yeah.
That could be a motivator too,
And
right?
the bottom one,
Yeah.
definitely jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was like,
Abandonment,
I mean,
obsession.
I'm not sticking up for Jody at all. I'm just saying that she was probably feeling so used. Here this guy is. He said at one time said he was going to marry her, brought her along to get baptized
Mm-hmm.
or whatever into the Mormon thing. Basically, okay, here's the best word to explain it. Leads her on big time
Mm-hmm.
and then just uses her, as he needs to sexually, and then goes away. And she's figuring the more sexual she is, the more he'll be with. It's just a big mess. So she's probably emotionally just a disaster. It doesn't mean you kill somebody, but it's that's definitely all that you listed there is yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And previously, did they experience trauma? I do believe they definitely all three had some type of trauma in their life. I mean, most people, like, they did have some trauma in their life. I did some research on them, so this
Okay,
was
yeah, we
previously
won't go too
recorded.
deep into that,
Yeah,
but you did the research on that, and they all had some
yeah.
some level. It makes sense. And then finally, what do we got
Oh
here?
yeah.
Where were
The
the
bodies
bodies
found.
found? So that's the first one sad because
Yeah.
there's a call where Chad calls her up. I think she's
Mm-hmm.
in jail and he's like, oh, he's like this. He's like, they're searching. She goes, what's wrong? Are you okay? No, they're searching the property.
Property.
Like you could just tell he was, I think then he tried to run and they got him.
Yeah,
That's
he did.
really sad.
That is sad because two beautiful kids.
And for number two there, Ruby, it's not applicable because there wasn't
No
anything like
bodies.
that. And of course, in the shower, where she actually took a picture of him,
Took a picture. That's crazy.
that is crazy. Possible motive, and yeah, they found the camera. Isn't that crazy? They found the camera with all the film. That picture of his last photo of him is like
Mm-hmm.
really haunting. Some people say he's trying to look sexy for that photo, or some people say he saw the knife in her hand or gun or whatever, and just that was to me. It looks more like not a sexual. It looks more like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
gonna die.
And possibility, we just went over that on the next
Yep.
slide. It's just a repeat of this one, just to
Yeah,
have
that's
it
good to
there.
have it here, and then the conditions of the
Yeah.
body.
Then the condition of the body,
Dismembered.
decomposed,
That's awful. Burnt,
yeah,
decomposed.
dismembered of the burns. That
Not
is just sad.
applicable. Stab wounds, throat slit, gunshot wounds. So the last one, it's self defense. So I stabbed him, slit his throat,
Yeah,
shot him a
shooting.
few times.
Yeah.
Nothing to
I just
see
wanted to
here.
make sure he wasn't
Nothing.
coming back at me.
What is this? Zombieland? Double tap? No, I don't. Yeah, maybe she said that. She didn't use that one. She didn't use zombies. But look at this. Now I'm being a little funny, but I'm connecting to number one, who was talking about zombies. She should have talked to Lori, because she could have said this dude turned into a zombie, and she had to do a double tap like they do in Zombieland. That's why she had to do that. She just talked to her friend Lori
But
about
she
those
said it was
zombies.
self-defense, so she just saying
Because he's a zombie. Lori says that with Chad, there's people that are no longer their soulless or whether they're zombies. So she needed to talk to her friend Lori and get the right defense.
Maybe.
Oh my
knows?
goodness.
They all in jail, so it doesn't matter what she said.
Exactly. Guys, if you made it this far, please comment, like, subscribe. That would really appreciate it. We do have memberships too, just as a FYI. But we're going to get into some common themes and also our AI discussion. It'll be a quick one, but want to see what we can pick up with our AI personality. But thank you guys again for taking the time and watching us. We really appreciate you. So common themes. We mentioned trauma.
Yes.
We mentioned relationship. They all had, the relationships and the issues. Interesting on this one is all religious. Now, we're not bashing religion at all. We're religious. We have our Christianity and things, but we're not knocking it. We're just saying it's amazing that sometimes people either use it or hide behind it, which is very sad. Beautiful women. I know Lori, that picture was a little bit later, but when she's younger, she did a lot of contests. They were all beautiful women.
They were. Incarceration.
Incarceration. Yep. Yeah, they're all in jail. Yeah.
I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yep. And now, and I agree with all that. What do you guys think? Was there any ties that you saw? Any things that you seen you want to share with us that we might have missed? But I think that was a good summary, Shrek. Excellent job. And now we are going to switch over. Give us 2 seconds to talk with our AI personality. And here we go. We're going to do this. And I am going to switch over and talk to our AI personality right now.
AI personality. See what she says.
Did Lori Daybell have mental health condition?
Lori Vallow Daybell, who was involved in a highly publicized criminal case, questions about her mental health. During her trial, her defense brought up issues related to her mental state. In fact, she was found unfit to stand trial at one point and was committed to a mental health facility for treatment. However, details about specific diagnoses or mental health conditions have not been fully disclosed to the public. It's important to note that the court ultimately found her competent to stand trial, and she was convicted for her crimes. The complexity of her case and behavior led to a lot of discussions about her mental health, but specific details remain largely confidential.
Okay, that's cool. Sorry, guys. I had to quite. Sometimes she'll pick up, like if you talk, and she might think you're saying something else. Okay, no, it's okay. Let's talk about the Jodi Arias case. I got a question there. What psychological disorders were considered in the Jodi Arias case?
In the Jodi Arias case, several psychological disorders were considered during her trial. The defense team brought in expert witnesses who testified that she might suffer from post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and borderline personality disorder, BPD. The PTSD diagnosis was suggested to explain her inconsistent memories of the crime, implying that the trauma of the event caused her to block out certain details. The borderline personality disorder was suggested to explain her unstable interpersonal relationships, intense emotions, and impulsive behaviors. However, the prosecution argued that Arias was manipulative and deceitful, suggesting that any mental health issues she might have had were not the primary factors in her actions. The psychological evaluations and the disorders discussed were key aspects of the trial, but didn't fully sway the jury, which ultimately convicted her of first-degree murder.
That's a great question. that
Yeah.
you had? Sure, I put that together. And that was a great answer, too.
Yeah.
So it's going to move on to Ruby Frankie for the last couple of questions. What were Ruby Frankie's intentions behind her parenting methods?
Ruby Frank, a YouTuber known for her family channel 8 Passengers, used controversial parenting methods that sparked a lot of debate. She often claimed that her strict and sometimes harsh approaches were intended to teach her children responsibility, accountability, and discipline. Frankie believed that by setting firm boundaries and consequences, she was preparing her children to become responsible adults. However, her methods, such as withholding food, removing bedroom doors, and other extreme forms of punishment, were heavily criticized. Many viewers and experts felt that her approach was more harmful than beneficial, potentially crossing the line into emotional or psychological abuse. Franca has since faced serious legal consequences, including charges of child abuse. Her intentions might have been to instill discipline, but the outcomes and public perception suggest that her methods were deeply problematic and possibly damaging to her children.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
good
crazy. I
summary.
mean,
I think
starving,
the other
really.
question's related. But yeah. Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
was wow. So that was a quick one. We didn't go
Yeah.
into depth. We just had a couple questions in reviewing these cases. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. We'll leave some links to some of the ones that we talked about with them in other episodes. But Shrak, any final thoughts on this one?
No, I think this is a good one because I think it might bring a lot of attention, especially this woman. I focused this one more on the woman piece of it. Like, we all trying to do our best out there in this world and things happen, right?
Right.
So this one was just more focused on the target of the woman.
And let us know if you like these. This is our second installment. We did one before with 3 men, and
Yes.
it seemed like you guys love that, difference between their previous, let's call life or previous before
Right.
the criminal activity and after, and that comparison. And they seem to got a lot of good views on that in
Yeah.
terms of interest.
And I also
So
wanted to point out as well, like when they do interview the neighbors about these cases, what do everyone says? Oh, I would have never thought that this person is so kind, stuff
exactly.
like that. So, just
And
wanted
in
to
this case, you see 3 beautiful women
hmm
involved in their church or involved in religious or looked upon on YouTube as being like,
beautiful life, beautiful
everything looks
family.
great, but it's not always the case.
Like Frankie, I had a beautiful wife. I mean, a beautiful husband and
Hmm.
kids.
So if you want to see more of these, we'll keep doing them. The first installment, people enjoyed. The second one, let's see what happens. Let us know for sure. We'll keep on
Yeah.
doing these for sure. So thank you all so much for hanging in
Thank
there to
you.
the end. And we appreciate you guys. And we'll see you
Studio
on the next
70.
one. Studio 70.